there's a list of victims that are supposed to be testifying, and the prosecutor wanted them to remain anonymous, and the judge approved it and said that they could remain anonymous, which I thought that was interesting. The article said the judge rules that Diddy victims can remain anonymous and testify anonymously. Several alleged victims, most of them anonymous, plan to testify against Diddy when the trial kicks off, including Cassie. Cassie will use her own name, but the judge ruled that victim 2, 3, and 4 will go by pseudonyms or just be called victim number whatever. And I thought that was interesting because we don't really see that too much, where people can come and testify. I was wondering how they were going to do it. Are you going to, like not put your, what are they going to do? What are they going to put a Kanye West mask on them and they get to come and sit on the trial looking like bank robbers from the 80s? Or do they do it virtually where, they have them like one of those interviews from a documentary where their voice sounds like this? And yes, Diddy did it to me. Like, how are you going to do it? The alleged victims of Sean Diddy Combs, besides his longtime former girlfriend Cassie, should be allowed to testify at his upcoming trial under pseudonyms, because forcing them to reveal their true identities would impose, quote, real cost on the victims and the public, federal prosecutors said. I believe, personally, this is just a personal belief. You guys tell me if you agree or disagree with it. I'm going to look in the chat. I believe that they're allowing these victims to testify anonymously because as the feds, we're going to send them back in to go get more people to get locked up, because we know it's not just Diddy. And we need you guys to go back. If you work in the music business and you worked for Diddy for 10 plus years, which was what reported, 2 of the alleged victims were reported to have worked for Diddy for the last 10 plus years. And one of them worked for Diddy for 3 years. And the other one is Cassie. I believe that we need you guys to remain anonymous so the public don't know who you are, so we can send you guys back in undercover to work for us and get more people in jail in the music business and entertainment business. That's what I believe. And if that's the case, then the people that I'm about to show I'm going to show you guys, these people might be the actual ones because they all work for Diddy, and it's kind of crazy. It says victims 2, 3, and 4, as they're identified in court papers, are expected to testify in explicit detail about Combs' alleged physical and sexual abuse. Testifying under their real names, federal prosecutors said, would cause them, quote, significant embarrassment, anxiety, and social stigma in the light of their anticipated testimony. I want to show you guys some people that I believe may be the ones testifying against Diddy. So the first one I'm going to present to you guys is Christina Karam. If you guys remember, Christina Karam was called Diddy's right-hand woman and his Ghislaine Maxwell. And we heard a lot about her in the beginning, but we didn't hear much follow-up. She's made a statement recently. Says Sean Combs' chief of staff breaks her silence, calls the accusations against her disturbing the unthinkable. Now, this is months after you were accused of this like last year. Now you're coming out this month, last month or whatever, and saying, I never did none of this. Bro, you like 7 months late, 6 months late. Like, what are you talking about? The woman who has been described as Sean Diddy Combs' right hand has issued her first statement since being named in multiple lawsuits in association with her boss, fully denying that she ever aided and abetted in the sexual assault of anyone. Here we go. Christina Karam, also known as KK, has worked for Bad Boy for more than a decade. You remember I said that the victims that were supposed to testify, they were reported to have worked for Diddy before for more than 10 years. So right there, if she is one of the victims that are supposed to be remaining anonymous, which I told you guys what I believe that they're keeping them victims anonymous so they can go back into the music industry, entertainment industry, and keep bringing people to jail. I think the feds want to use these people as CIs, as informants. So she worked for Diddy for more than a decade, the article says. She joined Combs Enterprise in 2013. So the timeline lines up from what was reported about the victims, the anonymous victims. She says she rose to rank. The article says she rose to rank in Combs' company, and she was named chief of staff in 2020. Christina Karam's proximity to Combs has entangled her in 3 lawsuits that have been brought against Diddy, who was arrested last September. For months, this is a quote from her. Quote, for months, Horrific accusations have been made out to me and about me in various lawsuits regarding my former boss. Now it's your former boss. She said, these false allegations of my involvement are causing irreparable harm and incalculable damage to my reputation and the emotional well-being of myself and my family. I have never condoned or aided and abetted the assault of anyone, nor have I ever drugged anyone. Why come out 6 months later and say that? Where was you at when they was first accusing you of that? She said the idea I could be accused of playing a role in or even being a bystander to the RAPE of anyone is beyond upsetting, disturbing, and unthinkable. That is not who I am, and my heart goes out to all the victims of assault. I am confident that the allegations against me will be proven to be untrue. I'm sure you are confident after the feds came and said, hey, we need you to work for us. You're going to testify. We're going to keep you anonymous, but you're going to work for us after that. Diddy previously praised this woman as his, quote, soul sister. Now, in the lawsuits that I read some of the lawsuits, you guys, that was against this woman, they were saying that she was in charge of the staff that was carrying around pink cocaine during the freak offs, making sure everybody got their drugs. That's why she's saying I never drugged nobody. So they said, and Diddy has a video out there where he's like leaning on her shoulder and like, I couldn't accomplish none of this without her. And it's like, anyways. So this is a quote from Diddy about Christina Karam. He said, KK keeps everything in my life and my business running. She's been my right hand for the last 8 years and has consistently proven to execute and get ish done. Diddy said, I don't know how I'd function without her. So a representative for Christina Karam did not clarify when exactly she left Combs' employment. Yeah, because you left him. They're not going to clarify that because you left his company when he went to jail. That was when it was like, oh, he's a former employer. Now, there's another person that we heard a lot about, but we didn't hear nothing on a follow-up about previously that I believe is another person that might be testifying that the feds went and got. This might be one of the anonymous victims as well. Diddy's ex-party planner reveals that the decor of the rapper's $500,000 freak-off party was wall-to-wall debauchery. A former party planner for Diddy has revealed details about the decor for the rapper's home where he hosted his infamous sex parties. Hit that like button if you guys just coming in. Please keep the likes up. Said they claimed that the Bad Boy founder used a unique mirror-inspired design, allowing guests to see themselves in the freak-offs reflected again and again. The design also allowed Diddy to observe every angle during the reported sex parties at his homes. Planning each of these lavish parties is said to have cost the rapper at least $500,000. So you guys remember this report where, they were saying that it was wall to wall. Every building, or excuse me, the building that he was doing these freak offs in was just mirrors, nothing but mirrors. Said the walls and the ceilings were all covered with mirrors. It was reported to see the sex happening everywhere. So these are some photos that they have from some of Diddy's parties. And obviously you guys can see what's going on in there. Now, this is the victim this is the person I believe might be one of the testifying victims that's remaining anonymous. Amid Diddy's ongoing legal troubles, a former party planner from the early to mid 2000s has revealed details about the extravagant design of the mansion during the parties he hosted. So this is somebody that used to work for Diddy as well. Remember, the victims are all people that used to be around Diddy, work for him, except Cassie. 2 of them worked for Diddy for 10 plus years, 1 for 3. The one that worked for 3 years, they said is a male. It's a man. Said according to a source who wished to remain anonymous. Check that out. So this party planner wanted to remain anonymous in the reports about what they did. That kind of aligns, and they worked for Diddy for 10 years too. That kind of aligns with the person that's testifying at trial, right? Wanting to remain anonymous and having that tenure at Bad Boy. Said according to the source who wished to remain anonymous, Diddy wanted to experience the entire scene of his parties from every angle. To achieve this, he reportedly instructed that the mirrors be temporarily installed on the walls and ceiling as part of the decor. Everywhere you look, this is a quote from the party planner. The party planner said, quote, everywhere you look, you see yourself reflecting again and again. You can imagine what it would look like when people are naked and having an orgy on the floor, on the couches, and wherever. The source also claimed that the Bad Boy founder selected this type of decor, to create a hedonistic atmosphere for those attending his sex parties. This was a quote from the planner again. The party planner anonymously said it was definitely a vibe he wanted to put out there, that everywhere you look, there will be sex happening. It was wall-to-wall debauchery. Said Diddy never bothered to haggle over the cost of his parties. So he didn't care how much it cost. The elaborate decor and party logistics would usually cost Diddy a small fortune, which the event planner confirmed. They claimed it amounted to at least $500,000 for both the mainstream part of the event and the private sex party that the rapper never bothered to haggle over the cost. So that right there, this party planner is the one that used to put the freak-offs together. They said that it would cost Diddy 500 bands per party, and there would be a mainstream part of the party, and then there was like these freak-offs that were happening, away from the mainstream party, which is why celebrities is like, yo, I never seen none of that. I don't know what was going on. Said all he would ask was, is it going to be a great party? That's what the planner said. Said if the answer was yes, he was willing to pay. Some of the funds were also allocated to providing great food and expensive alcohol for the guests, along with other forms of entertainment like dancers, acrobats, and models. On occasions when Diddy wanted to go all out, he also provided more exotic forms of entertainment to keep his guests fully engaged. Sometimes we had live animals, sometimes different performers. It all added up, but he didn't care. That's what the planner said as a quote. This is a lot of quotes from somebody, whoever this party planner is. I believe this is one of the people that's going to be testifying in Diddy's trial that's trying to still remain anonymous. So the former party planner claims that the rapper's staff handled his sex parties. As part of their revelation, the planner denied having anything to do with the freak-offs guest list or organizing the items used. They claimed that they were only involved in the food, alcohol, entertainment, and decor, while hinting that the freak-off logistics were taken care of by other members of Diddy's team. He was hiring, this is a quote, he was hiring both men and women who called themselves models, but it seemed obvious, at least to me, that they were actually prostitutes. This was a continuation of that quote. Said, but that wasn't my role. That would be the role of a member of his team. I just handled the mainstream stuff. Diddy's freak-offs have been described as wild gatherings involving multiple women, male prostitutes, and blah, 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 blah. They were allegedly filled with instances of where the music mogul assaulted these women and other victims. So it would be like parties like this. You see Leonardo DiCaprio back there looking for his next 25-year-old girlfriend. So a copy of the NDA Diddy allegedly used to keep his freak-off attendees in line recently emerged. So one of the NDAs that Diddy had for the freak-offs came out, and the document was added to reports. The documents, which guests are usually required to sign before gaining entrance, prevent them from sharing information related to Diddy, his family members, or current or former partners or spouses and friends of business associates. The NDA asks them not to photograph, film, or record, or have another person do it for them. Of Diddy or anybody in his circle without written consent. Attendees were also banned from posting photos on social media sites Diddy doesn't sign off on. According to TMZ, the NDA lasts for the life of the artist plus 20 years after his death, or a grand total of 70 years, whichever is longer. So TMZ got a hold of the NDAs from the freak-offs, and they reported it. I think this party planner that did this report is also one of the people that potentially could be testifying in Diddy's case and still remaining anonymous. There's two more I got for you guys. So the first one was Christina Karam. The second one was this party planner. And we know that there's 3 victims. So it's one of the, I believe it could be one of these people. Victims 2 through 4. Here's another one, which was a male prostitute details alleged experiences while at Diddy's freak-off parties. I believe this person could be testifying as well. Another expose on the alleged heinous acts of Diddy have been published by Rolling Stone, where they interviewed a number of figures previously associated with the mogul, one of whom was a male sex worker using the pseudonym Nathan. Now, this is another guy. You remember they said at Diddy's trial, they were going to be using, the victims will be using pseudonyms or just saying, hey, victim 1 or victim 2, but they all wanted to remain anonymous. So this person is another person that wanted to when he was talking about Diddy, wanted to stay anonymous, but you still putting a report out there. So this dude is using the pseudonym Nathan. So it's a fake name, Nathan. Said he shared his alleged experience of being paid by Diddy for his services during the mogul's much discussed freak-off parties. The weird thing is these aren't people that's suing. These aren't people that's looking for money from Diddy necessarily. And they're all coming out making these reports. Like, they have no reason. It's not like you have a lawsuit that you're trying to. They have no reason to come forward and make these reports, in my opinion. They're not even looking for fame. Because most times when people come and make a report, that's the first thing I go, okay, are they looking for fame? Are they looking for some money? These people that I'm showing you guys, they're not looking for any of that, which leads me to believe that they might be the anonymous victims that's testifying in this trial. Because they're not looking for anything other than just putting the information out and letting people know what was going on behind the scenes. It says Nathan claims that Diddy last reached out to him for a freak off in 2019, hoping to set up a threesome at one hotel in Miami between the two men and a woman flying in from Hawaii. That Nathan claims Diddy last reached out to him for a freak off in 2019, hoping to set up a threesome at the one hotel in Miami between the two men and a woman flying in from Hawaii. While that particular plan never came to fruition, Nathan claims he was paid anywhere between $2,000 and $5,000 for each sexual encounter, adding that the freak offs were ritualistic. That's the crazy part for me. It's all crazy. But he said the freak offs, this prostitute said he was paid by Diddy between $2,000 and $5,000 for every encounter, for every time he smashed somebody. And he said that the freak offs were ritualistic. That's demonic. He said involving the Bad Boy founder, he said Diddy was, quote, choreographing, excuse me. I was thinking choreography. Choreographing every move, Diddy. That's what Diddy was doing until he was no longer sober enough to do so. This is a quote from the guy, the prostitute. He said, I think he would try to regulate her pleasure. And he was directing the sessions. He also claims he was often summoned to lavish hotel rooms in Miami, New York City, and Los Angeles. And that happened to be 3 cities that Diddy's homes were raided in as well, by the way. He said he was forced to surrender his phone before undressing and grabbing a bottle of baby oil that was warmed in a tub of hot water. We all know about the baby oil. The guy said, I quote, this is a quote, I don't use baby oil to this day because of all the baby oil I used to put on me. The hotel rooms were freezing. The baby oil was warm. So if you were cold and your clothes were locked in another room, the baby oil kept you warm. So he's saying Diddy used to lock these prostitutes' clothes in another room. In addition to participating, Nathan alleged that Puff also enjoyed playing the voyeur, standing in the shadows while watching him have sleep with his female guests, including Diddy's various girlfriends. This is why I think this is one of the guys that are going to testify. Because think about it. Think about it like this, right? Cassie gets on the stand. Just play it out in court in your mind. Cassie gets on the stand. Cassie says, yes, Diddy used to make me sleep with male prostitutes. Then the prostitute gets on the stand and says, yes, Diddy did make me sleep with Cassie. He paid me $2,000 to $5,000 every time I did it. This is why I think this might be one of the guys that's anonymous victim that's trying to testify using a pseudonym. And even in this article, he's using the pseudonym Nathan. This guy said he did make me do it while standing in the shadows, watching me have intercourse with his female guests, including his various girlfriends. He pretended to leave the room, or he would pretend to leave the room, but like go around the corner and crawl in the room on the floor and peek around the corner using the mirrors. So this guy right here is saying that there was mirrors involved. That's why I think the party planner, you guys kind of see my train of thought. Like the party planner was the one installing the mirrors or paying people to install the mirrors. Cassie is one of the girlfriends that was getting slept with. This guy is one of the prostitutes that was sleeping with the girlfriend. He confirms the mirror thing. So I think just all those 3 things together. And then Christina Karam was the person that the party planner was said, hey, the women that were chosen and the people that were brought in were selected by Diddy's staff. That's what my train of thought led me down. Like, okay, this is the group of people that are testifying, they're trying to remain anonymous because they're even trying to remain anonymous in these articles. So the quote continues from the prostitute, Nathan, pseudonym, fake name. Diddy would pretend to leave the room, but go around the corner and crawl in the room on the floor and peek around the corner or use the mirrors. It was really creepy-ish, obviously, because it's like your girlfriend. Why do you even have to do that? So that's what dude said about Diddy. Said Nathan also spoke of Combs' alleged drug use, saying saying that all about the Benjamin artists preferred ecstasy and ketamine. Now I'm about to get into the next person that I believe might be testifying based on this statement right here. Diddy preferred ecstasy and ketamine, claiming that Combs needed that ecstatic feeling before he had intercourse. He also suspects Combs drugged him at a freak off, giving him a horrible reaction. The dude said, "This stuff had me so out of my mind," before describing the New Yorker as entrenched in his compulsions. Dude said Diddy, this is a quote, he said, "Diddy is a sex addict. He's an obsessive drug addict, and that's a major part of his problem." Combs' legal team has made an effort to frame Diddy as reformed, but Nathan said that it's all BS. He said he's not reformed. He just wants to get out of jail. He's the same person. So this dude don't like Diddy. He ain't asking for no money. He ain't suing him. He ain't nothing. He don't even want to be named. I don't want no fame. I don't want nothing. I just want you guys to know that this dude is BS, and he just trying to get out of jail. Now, here's the interesting part. It says Diddy's lawyers, who addressed everything at some point, declined to address this guy's claims. And his lead attorney says that the defense in the case interviewed multiple prostitutes connected to the case last September, but they didn't have nothing to say to this guy. So that's the guy. That's one of the other guys. I believe strongly that this is one of the people testifying, just in the amount of detail and passion that he talks about his experience at the freak offs. I believe that he's one of the guys involved. Now, he talked about the drug thing, right? And this is the last guy I'm going to show you guys. And then we're going to get into Entrepreneur Hour and talk about this from a business perspective. This is the last guy that we heard about, and then we just didn't hear nothing about. You guys remember, it was reported when Diddy's plane they were saying Diddy is running, he knows it's over with. They raiding his houses right now. Remember when those reports dropped? And they said they just caught Diddy's drug mule trying to leave at the airport. And then we heard about this dude getting arrested by the feds, which is not small. The feds don't just send a team to arrest you at the airport and then nothing happens later. They don't send a team to pull you off a plane as you're trying to get away and run, and then you just go home. I thought that was crazy. So this guy, Brendan Paul, which we haven't heard about since this all started, I believe he might be even one of the people that, are either testifying or going in undercover for the feds because of what happened with his charges. It says Sean Diddy Combs' alleged drug mule, Brendan Paul's charges have been dropped. Bro, they put a whole federal team to go find you. This is the guy, right? I don't know. You never know. Dude look like Jesse from Breaking Bad to me. Mr. White. Like, so the article reads, charges against Brendan Paul, Sean Diddy Combs' alleged drug mule have been dropped. It says Paul's attorney, Brian Bieber, confirmed that Mr. Paul's case was formally dismissed in its entirety. When have the feds ever caught you with drugs, went somewhere, caught you at the airport with drugs, and know that you're Diddy's drug mule, arrest you? And by the way, they arrested this guy within 10 minutes of raiding all of Diddy's houses. Because when they raided Diddy's houses, it was a plan. Like, they did, Homeland Security did it all at the same time. His house in Miami, the one in New York, and the one in LA at the same time. That's a phone, like that's organization to have a bunch of raids happening literally at the same minute. And then within 10 minutes, they found this guy and they were able to get him to be arrested as well while he was getting on the airport trying to leave. It says Brendan accepted the prosecutor's offer to permit his entry into the diversion program, which after completion, the case against him will be dismissed in his entirety. That's what his lawyer said. the diversion program is basically, I'm a drug addict and I need help. When have the feds ever arrested somebody for being a drug mule and then said it's okay if you just take a class? Do a 52-week class, you'll be good. We good. And they want nothing. They just put all that money and resources into just arresting you for a couple days. I don't believe this. Says Mr. Paul completed the pretrial program. He was charged with felony cocaine possession amid the trafficking lawsuits filed against Diddy. So in one of those former lawsuits, they said that this was one of Diddy's drug mules and blah, 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 blah. I believe if that's true, says between 2000, this is a quote, between 2008 and the present, oh, that's about Diddy. That ain't about this guy. So I believe if this is true, he might be one of the people that are involved in, everything that's going on with Diddy as well. So you guys let me know what you think in the chat. Who do you think these victims are? Why do you think they're remaining anonymous? Why do you think that's being allowed? God bless you guys. I'll leave you guys with that. I'll see you guys tomorrow on tomorrow's live stream. We're here on YouTube live every single day around 9 and 10 a.m. Until next time, God bless you guys. Urban Legend.